Is procrastination holding you back from achieving your dreams? Stick around to the end of the video where I'll be sharing 5 action steps to help you stop procrastinating for good and finally achieve those goals you've been working on. Friends, before we get started, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more tips like this to help you make this your era. Now, let's get right into the video. Do you procrastinate? I'm guessing the answer to that is going to be a yes, because a recent survey in the UK found that 84% of people experience procrastination and a fifth admitted to procrastinating daily. So you are definitely not alone. But here's the thing, procrastination is actually often a symptom of a larger problem. It's a symptom of an emotion that we all feel from time to time, and that emotion is fear. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of blame, fear of success even. These fears come from our thoughts about what might happen when we attempt our goals. And because our brain doesn't see a difference between real danger and danger that only exists at the level of our thoughts, that fear can kick in even when we haven't taken any specific action yet. In fact, because it's estimated that we each have between 60,000 and 80,000 thoughts a day, and up to 70% of those can be negative, we can be at the mercy of those thoughts. And that's particularly true when we enter what I call the messy middle between our goals and success. That's because the messy middle can be really challenging and tough. It can be full of difficult questions like, how do I get started? How do I finish? The messy middle is where doubt sits. It's where judgment sits. It's where failure sits. And therefore it is where fear sits. And when our fears are bigger than the excitement about any potential gains we might have from achieving our goals, then a very particular part of our brain kicks in. This part of our brain is called the amygdala. It's a collection of cells near the oldest base part of our brain, which is key to how we process strong emotions like fear and pleasure. And when we feel fear, it triggers the fight or flight response that we're all familiar with, hijacking the frontal lobes of our brain, effectively rendering us at the mercy of that fear, unable to make rational decisions or to be motivated to take any action which could move us out of our comfort zone and into our growth zone. And this in turn can lead to a very specific form of inaction, a form we all know as procrastination or quitting. And aren't we so good at justifying that quitting, me included? We can find 101 reasons why not to do something, right? But when we're justifying, we're actually tolerating a situation which isn't leading us towards our goals. So what can we do to ditch fear and procrastination and start moving forward? Let's talk about 5 specific actions that you can start taking today. Action step number 1. Get to grips with fear. Firstly, name your fear. When a child's in the dark and scared of that monster hiding in the corner, we instinctively turn on the light so they realise the monster isn't actually there at all. And similarly, when we shine a light on our fears by naming them and bringing them out into the open, often they don't seem quite so bad. Secondly, think about what the reason is behind the fear. What's really going on? Which loss is the reason for the fear? When you're aware of that limiting belief, it's easier to move past it and get going again. And thirdly, acknowledge how that fear has been holding you back. What impact has it been having on your goals, your life, and those around you? Action step number 2 is get crystal clear. Sometimes we procrastinate because we don't have enough clarity about what we're actually trying to achieve. Specific, measurable, and deadline-driven goals can help, but it's also key to know what your first steps are towards achieving your goals. This is where 30 minutes of planning can save hours of procrastination. And if you struggle with knowing what those tasks are, then the next action step is for you. Action step number 3, shift into curiosity. Shifting into a curiosity mindset allows us to use our brain's natural inclination to answer questions. As soon as we ask ourselves a question, our brain switches into search mode, Google mode if you like, to start finding answers. You can use this to your advantage when you're planning out the steps towards your goals. Instead of staying stuck trying to figure out what tasks you should be doing, think about the questions you need to answer and write those down instead. You can even schedule those questions in your planner, just as you would a task, to make sure you find the answers that will move you forward. And an added bonus here is that when we're in search mode, it's much easier to press pause on fear. Action step number 4 is make sure it matters. When our goals are truly important to us, we're less likely to procrastinate and more likely to overcome those inevitable obstacles on the way to achieving them. As Simon Sinek says, achievement happens when we pursue and attain what we want. Success comes when we are in clear pursuit of why we want it. Being really clear about why your goals are important to you helps boost your motivation to keep going. This is particularly true when our goals are set by others, like an organisation or a manager at work. And our final action step, number 5, schedule small intentional actions. When we take really small steps out of our comfort zone and into our more challenging growth zone, this doesn't feel quite so dangerous to the primitive part of our brain. And so it allows us to move forward without engaging that fight or flight response, re-engaging our frontal lobes and allowing us to use those small intentional actions to move forward in the right direction. So that's our 5 action steps to help you finally overcome procrastination for good. Let us know what small intentional steps you're going to take to move forward with your goals in the comments below so we can give you a virtual high five. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more tips like this to help you make this your era. If you like this topic, take a look at the other videos linked on this page. And if today's video has whet your appetite for more content on how to live your best life, be sure to check out our Reboot Your Life course from the This Is My Era Academy at thisismyera.com/reboot your life. Thanks for watching. See you next time.